Welcome back to the SmackDown review, and today we're going to do it a little bit different than normal because we're only going to be covering stuff that I actually care about because I am too lazy and I'm too tired to actually do the rest. So, yeah. But let's start off with this backstage segment where we had Cody Rhodes get confronted by Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn, Anyway, we had this backstage segment where we had Cody Rhodes get confronted by Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn asked for an apology after what Cody did last week. Yeah, you heard that right. Sami Zayn wanted an apology for what Cody Rhodes did last week, which was get the win. And Sami was like, "Well, I helped you with Gunther. I helped you. I punched him in the face. He fell down when he had you in a chokehold. And then all that stuff. And then Cody was like, I was being choked out by Gunther. And you did not help me one bit." And Sami was like, "I wanted to help you. With everything in my body, I wanted to help you. But it wasn't the right thing to do because I'm the only good guy left in WWE." And then Cody Rhodes says, okay, only good guy left in WWE. And then he says, after I'm done with Gunther, I'm going to deal with you next. So it's very clear that after Cody's done with Gunther, that it's going to be Sami Zayn versus him, which is going to be very exciting to watch. Then we saw Jade Cargill take on Alexa Bliss, where this just had to continue the build on to, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, B-Fab, Michin, Alexa, Jade. Continue on built with that as they got taken out. But of course, as Alexa Bliss went for the Twisted Bliss, got hit with the knees, big pump kick, Jaded for the 1-2-3. And then Jade Cargill grabbed a chair and got put Jaded onto her in the ring. Rhea Ripley got mad, got Jade Cargill at the ring, and, continuing the build to their Clash in Italy match, which I am glad they're going to do a rematch because I really liked their first in-ring match, which was pretty good in my opinion, at WrestleMania 42, so I hope they continue on doing that stuff like that. Anyway, we see Danhausen talk to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis says he is sorry that Danhausen's laboratory stuff couldn't get through customs, but he probably shouldn't be doing it anyway because of what happened last week. And Danhausen's like, well, how am I going to do my experiments? And all that stuff. And Nick Aldis says, well, you shouldn't be doing it anyway because you should be out there in front of the Barcelona crowd, because we pay you human money, human dollars to be here. He said, oh, yeah. And then The Miz asked Nick Aldis why he has a match tonight, and Kit Wilson is not. And he said that Kit Wilson is not here today because he couldn't get through customs with too much of lotion and stuff. I don't really know. But then Miz was like, I can't have a match today with the next big star of WWE, Kit Wilson here. Not here today. I'm not going to be able to take on Axiom, especially in his home country of Spain. And then, I wasn't even really worried about what The Miz was talking about, because I was more worried about what this man Danhausen was doing in the background. What is this? What type of toxic poison is this? And then later on, we see Miz talking to Nick Aldis, saying, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you. And then they stumble upon Danhausen, whatever in here, and we see Nick Aldis there, and Danhausen's like, I'm putting out the fires. And the Miz goes in there, gets hit with the fire extinguisher, then Nick Aldis goes in there, tries to touch this white thing, whatever is in here, and says, Danhausen's like, hey, don't touch that. And my question is, Danhausen could not get his stuff that he needed to do whatever he was doing, his laboratory, whatever he was doing, during the backstage SmackDown. He couldn't get the stuff that he needed because couldn't get through customs. But my thing is, how did he get whatever under this thing? Which, by the way, I'm assuming this is a body, just by the base of how it looks. So how did he get a body through customs? Or how did he get it in Barcelona? And how come the other stuff didn't get through customs, but this thing did? If it even came through customs, where did this thing even come from? Because how did he get it from Lexington, Kentucky, I think? Was that where it was? I don't really know. To Barcelona, Spain. How did that get there from there? That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And Danhausen, what's under there? Let's see what are you hiding from Nick Aldis? Anyway, speaking of the match, we did see Axiom have a match in his home country taking on The Miz, and it was a pretty quick match, obviously, because, you know, it was ever. But The Miz did take control for a little bit. They haven't gotten the top rope, but then the lights flickered on and off, causing him to get hit with the Spanish Fly. Big golden ratio for the 1, 2, 3. And Axiom wins. So, I understand why Axiom won, because he's in his home country of Spain, and WWE doesn't really go to Spain very often. So, of course, they had to put is he the only Spanish wrestler on the roster, I think? I don't really know. But, of course, he had to have a match against Miz. But by the way, I also recently heard a fact about The Miz. He hasn't won a singles match, I think, or was it a singles match in like over 800 days, which is crazy. That is nasty work. WWE, man, give this man one win at least, bro. Like, I think he deserves at least one win. Maybe he does, but yeah, it makes sense that, you know, Axiom got his win, and, you know, this also, I like how, you know, the lights flickering on and off caused Miz to lose his balance, get hit with a Spanish Fly, golden ratio, 1, 2, 3. He lost the match, and I'm glad they had a backstage segment with Danhausen, and Miz was mad that Danhausen, because whatever Danhausen's doing back there, is using a bunch of power that I don't think he's supposed to be using, because I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely about to blow He's definitely about to blow the outlet. He's about to blow the power eventually, which is gonna be funny, and it's definitely gonna be happen during a Miz segment or match. And then we had this Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes thing, where Trick Williams, of course, came out, did his blah 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 thing, but Carmelo Hayes came out and wants a rematch, basically, because Ricky Saints got in, messed up Melo's whole flow, and caused him to lose, basically. And he wants to go at Trick Williams again, and the crowd starts chanting, Melo, 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 and Trick Williams like, oh, you guys want to see Melo? Well, let's talk about it. Let's see me and Melo get into it. But then, of course, Ricky Saints comes out and says that Melo doesn't belong here, all that stuff. And then after he gets done with Melo, he's going after Trick Williams. And Trick Williams is like, okay, bro, hold your horse. Whoa, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Stop it. Of course, talks trash to him. And, you know, Ricky Saints did not like that disrespect from Trick Williams. He said, hey, how about you take your lemon pepper stuff yourself and then gets pimp slapped across the face. Which I love this new thing that Trick Williams is, and he just does the backhanded slap across the face, which is hilarious. It's hilarious. Like, bro just pulls it out of nowhere, like, oh yeah, I like giving out those slaps across the face. But yeah, I think it's funny as heck. I think it's funny. I think it's very funny that he does that. But it did set up a Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints match where we saw Melo do some crazy stuff, but the match ended in DQ, which I don't understand why. But the only reason I could come up with is the WWE is just trying to protect both wrestlers, and they don't want to have Melo or Ricky Saints take an L before whatever they have planned for them. See, my thing is I think what WWE is gonna do with Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints is I think WWE is going to have Ricky Saints, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams in like a triple threat feud, and eventually like a PLE, maybe Night of Champions or something like that. They have a triple threat match for the United States Championship or something. That's the only thing I can think about what they're doing with this feud. Which only makes sense, right? Because, made sense putting Melo there because Trick Williams screwed Melo out of his championship against Sami Zayn. The up-and-comer Ricky Saints wants a championship. He's trying to go after the United States Championship, and he gets straight inserted into this Carmelo Hayes Trick Williams thing. So, it makes sense. But if that is the match that WWE is planning to do, that Trick Williams, Melo, and Ricky Saints thing at Night Champions, I'm definitely down for that. And we're moving on to the main event, where, of course, we had Gunther versus the Cody Rhodes feud continuing and building until their match a couple days from now. And Gunther, of course, was talking trash, is like, hey, Cody Rhodes is the example of the failing American dream, and he's everything that's wrong with the sport, and we need to keep the sport sacred. Pretty clear. And then Cody's like, oh, so you hate the fans, you hate being this, you hate all the good things about being a professional wrestler, and hates all the fans, doesn't care about the fans, doesn't care about the going out and seeing the fans, going through all the media and interview appearances, and, carrying the title, and Cody Rhodes like, this title is addictive, and we are addicted to this, and all that stuff. Cody Rhodes would normally say. I mean, pretty good, because, Cody Rhodes is the greatest professional wrestler to ever lift a pair of boots up, but yeah. But then, Gunther got all upset, and Gunther said, I made a promise to AJ Styles that I was going to tap him out, and he passed out. And I made a promise to Bill Goldberg that I was going to make him pass out. I made him pass out. And then Gunther was like, and your so-called hero, John Cena, I made a promise to him, and I made him tap out. And I'm going to do the same thing to you at Clash in Italy. And I do like this. I like the feud that they decided to do with Cody Rhodes and do with Gunther. I think this is a perfect feud for both of them. And I really do appreciate that they're finally using Gunther retiring Goldberg, Cena, and AJ Styles finally to come back around to this. I'm glad that Gunther brought in, he made a promise that he would tap out John Cena, and he did that. And now he's making a promise tonight on SmackDown that he's going to tap out Cody Rhodes or make Cody Rhodes pass out so he can become the top dog in WWE, the top dog, win the top prize, which is the WWE Championship. And I really like this promo from Gunther, and especially the Barcelona crowd, because let's be honest, imagine this crowd and imagine this promo between Gunther and Cody in like a random town/city in the United States. Imagine that. This promo wouldn't be as good as it was if it was in front of an American crowd. See, in a European crowd, this promo is good and nice because the crowd in Europe is way better than any American crowd in the last maybe a year or so. I would say maybe the last couple of years. Because Europeans know how to put on a show, and most of these Europeans spent their hard-earned money, and most of these are hardcore wrestling fans. These are the type of people who definitely stay up at like 3 a.m. to watch the shows that are going on in America, and they're probably disappointed. Like, what is this crowd? This crowd sucks, making no noise at all. But, yeah, I really do enjoy this promo. Really enjoyed this promo. And I'm glad it was in front of Barcelona instead of, some random bum town in America. But also, can we circle back around to this thing right here with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn? Where Sami Zayn wants an apology because Cody Rhodes won a match. Can we come back around to this? Because how? Why is Sami Zayn upset that Cody Rhodes won a match? I don't understand this logic, Sami. Sami, just admit it that you're a sore loser and you're just a sore loser. You're just a sore loser. Just admit it, Sami. You are a sore loser. Because I've never seen someone so mad at someone beating them. Never seen someone so mad about this. But anyway, that's all I got to you guys today. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. And let me know in the comments below if you like this new type of reviews. Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.